Jump in. Normally I get a little beep. How was your weekend? Yes. Good. Buenos dias, Malaysia. Exactly. ¿Te gusta? ¿Te gusta el pudín de pepinillos? Good morning, Malaysia. Did you have a good weekend, Malaysia? Yeah, very good. Mine was good. Pretty quiet. I did some yard work, that kind of stuff. Nothing too exciting. Oh, how old is he? Ah, 12 años. Muy bien, 12 años. Okay, I have to turn on my fan. So hold on one second, you guys. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Something I forgot to do. Okay, so do we know this verb here? We're going to practice today. I just didn't know if you guys have ever seen this. Do you know how we would respond? I don't like. Do we know that? Once again, it's just kind of me trying to figure out what we know and what we don't. Good morning, Joe Marion. ¿Cómo estás? How are you? Good. What'd you do this weekend? Nothing? Yeah, kind of like me, right? Although we have had some beautiful weather for a change, so I did enjoy being outside this weekend. Yeah. All right. So has anybody used this verb before? Te gusta? Me gusta? Le gusta? Any of that? Gusta? So Joe Marion. Okay. Joe Marion. ¿Te gusta el pudín de pepinillos? Pudín de pepinillos. ¿Sí o no? I don't know about you guys, like where you are, but everything is like dill pickle flavored lately. Yeah. Like potato chips and stuff like that. I'm not sure I get it. Right? Same thing by you guys. Yeah. Everything's like dill pickle flavored. I'm not sure. But anyway. No. Clase a mí. Good morning, Malia. A mí no me gusta el pudín de pepinillos. No me gusta, no me gusta. I don't like, right? A mí, talking about myself, a mí no me gusta el pudín de pepinillos. So that's what we're going to practice today. We're going to look at that in a couple of minutes. Malia, do you remember seeing this verb ever? Gusta? Yes? Oh, good. Muy bien. So that's kind of what we're going to practice today. And the thing about it is, it's a little weird. It's one of those highly irregular verbs. So in Spanish, we have a group of verbs that are what we call regular. And then we have those that are, for a variety of reasons, irregular. Okay, they don't follow a normal pattern. And so gustar is to like, and encantar is like to really like something or to love something, right? Encantar. Those two, thankfully, they follow the same pattern, but they are highly, highly irregular. Of all the verbs that are irregular, they are like the irregular, okay? So we have to sort of shift our thinking with them just a little bit, okay? Buenos días, Arshad. ¿Cómo estás? Did you have a good weekend, Arshad? All right, let me take attendance real quick, and then we'll get the show on the road. That's an old-fashioned expression, isn't it? Yes. Okay. Muy bien. All right, so let me switch up my background. I hope y'all had a good weekend. Come on now. There we go. I hope we all had a good weekend, and I don't think anybody here likes el pudín de pepinillos, right? Okay, clase up here. Es lunes. It's Monday. El 26 agosto, should be the 25th, not the 26th. So I lied again. Yeah, 25 agosto. Y vamos a continuar con el vocabulario, right? We're going to continue with our vocab. Y a practicar con los verbos gustar, querer, y preferir. So 3 verbs or 3 kinds of verbs that we're going to look at this week, okay, to help us talk about those food items, right? Gustar, to like something, querer, to want something, and preferir, to prefer, right? To like something more or better, whatever, okay? So 3 verbs, and unfortunately, they're all irregular, you guys. They don't follow the quote-unquote normal pattern, okay? So we're going to figure out these patterns together, okay? All right, any questions, you guys? Preguntas? If you are interested and you want to take your own notes or something, if you have a notebook, if you're the kind of person who likes to write things down. So when I was learning languages, right, I always had to write stuff down. So if that's you, then you might want to get something out or maybe open a document or whatever works for you, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started today. When? So again, if I go too fast, too slow, let me know, okay? All right, so I'll share my screen. It's Monday, you guys. We're gonna go gently, yeah? We'll go gently today. Muy bien. All right, so take a look at my screen. Gustar and encantar. And like I said just 2 seconds ago, you guys, these are highly irregular. They do not follow the regular pattern of all of the verbs that we've learned, okay, that you have learned. So who can tell me real quick, and you can unmute or you can put it in the chat, however you feel more comfortable. How do we say I in Spanish? Like I am tall. What's our word for I? Do you remember that? I'm just picking your brain this Monday morning. Yo, very good, Jo Marion. Yo, right? That's our word for I. Okay. What's our word for we? We are students. How do we say we? What's the plural of yo? We go. What's the plural? How do we say we, you guys? It starts with an N. Very good. Nosotros. Muy bien. Nosotros. Okay. Those are 2 examples of when we use a verb like yo soy, right? Yo soy alta, right? I am tall. Okay. So we know that soy goes with yo. And if we wanted to say we are tall, that soy would have to change to match the nosotros, and it would be nosotros somos, right? Altos. Okay, we get it. Like we have to match the verb with the yo, the tú, usted, él, ella, nosotros, ustedes, ellos, and ellas. We have to match that up. We got to use it, figure it out to make a sentence. However, unfortunately, gustar and encantar, now listen carefully, do not use yo, do not use tú, do not use nosotros. You can take notes if you like, Brooklyn, if you need to, if you're the note-taking type, okay? These verbs do not use any of those. So what that means is we have to relearn some things just specifically for gustar and encantar, okay? So it's real important, you guys, if you're a note taker, take your notes, or make sure that you are paying attention to my screen, to the Zoom screen, okay? Either way, because these are not normal, right? So we need to figure them out, okay? And then you stop me if I'm confusing you, okay? Okay, so let's take a look here. First of all, we know we're going to practice with gustar, and we just said a minute ago that it means to like, okay? So the only thing I can tell you that is normal here, okay, is that when we look at verbs in these two columns, the singulars are on the left and the plurals are on the right. However, here's what's different, okay? Notice, you guys, let me get my pointer here. Come on, there we go. Notice, you guys, that it says, I like it, me gusta. You like it, te gusta. He or she likes it, or you like it if it's formal, right? Le. We like it, nos, and they like it, les. Well, excuse me, but if I just said this was plural, I mean singular here in the left-hand side, then how come I got we and they? Any guesses? Why are we and they over here in the singular column? Any guesses? Jamarian, Arshad, Malia? Here's why. Now listen carefully, because this is the thing that makes these guys the exception. Because when we use this verb to like or to love, encantar, it's not who, okay? It's not yo versus nosotros. It's not the who being singular or plural. It's the what being singular or plural. What? So here's what I mean. If we are talking about one item, we use gusta. If we are talking about more than one item, who can tell me, how does the spelling change? How does the spelling change if we are talking about more than one item? Come on, help me out this Monday morning. It's Monday for me too. Yes, thank you. We add an N. Okay. So for these verbs, this verb gustar and encantar, the good news is there are only two forms, right? So you're not going to have like yo soy, tú eres, usted es, él es, nosotros somos, ustedes son, ellos son. You're not going to have all of that. All you have are two. gusta and gustan. That's it. Gusta, singular. If you like one item, you're going to use gusta. If you're liking more than one item, you add an N to make it plural, gustan. Okay? Yay. Everybody clear about that? Sí or no? Give me a thumbs up. So, Jamarian, are you with me? Because this is important. Okay. So here's the thing. The difficulty then comes in these. Okay? These. Because you guys see that we do not ever, never use yo, tú, usted, never, etc., etc. We never use them with this verb. Instead, we replace yo with me. We replace tú with te. We replace usted, él, and ella with le. We replace nosotros. So instead of using nosotros, we're going to use nos. And instead of using ustedes, ellos, and ellas, we are going to use les. Okay, everybody clear? Yeah? Me, te, le, nos, and les. No longer yo, tú, usted, él, ella, nosotros, ustedes, ellos, ellas. We're going to use these instead with this verb. Okay? So if I like one item, me gusta. If we like one item, nos gusta, because we're liking one item. But if we like more than one item, nos gustan. So remember, the spelling changes based on the item, not the people. Okay? All right, questions? Okay, I'm going to erase my scribbles and we'll go on. Okay. So now, you guys, let's get into the big weeds. Okay. Change my color here. All right, let's get into the big weeds. Okay. So in Spanish, we just said, instead of using yo, we're not going to use yo, right? We're going to use me, for example. Okay, etc., etc. So if that's the case, then what is all this here? All right, well, let me explain before I get into that. In Spanish, they repeat themselves. They repeat themselves when they're trying to emphasize something. Okay? So let's say, for example, I say to Brooklyn, me gusta la pizza. Okay? I'm telling Brooklyn I like pizza. Brooklyn, me gusta la pizza. Well, let's say she didn't hear me. Right? And she looks at me and she says, ¿Quién? Who likes pizza? Right? Then I'm going to emphasize, a mí, me gusta la pizza. Right? In other words, it was me who said it. Yeah? A mí me gusta la pizza. Okay? Y'all with me here? So everything in this column is like for emphasis. Okay? So let's say Marlasia and I, let's say it's me. Yeah, let's say it's me and Marlasia. And we're talking about Arshad. I don't know. Okay. And so she says to me, so I tell her, okay, that Arshad likes to eat. So I'm going to say, le gusta comer. Right? I'm talking about Arshad. I'm saying he likes to eat, right? Because remember, our le replaces our el and ella and usted. Okay. So Marlecia and I are talking about Arshad, and I say to Marlecia, le gusta comer. And she says to me, who does? Like she didn't catch what I said, right? I can say, a Arshad le gusta comer, right? So I can use names here too, right? To specify that I'm talking about Arshad, who likes to eat. He likes to eat. Okay. Questions? Okay. Now, let's say I want to say you, right? And I want to say you like sports. You like sports. Why don't you join the soccer team or something? You know, you like sports, right? And because sports are plural, I'm going to add an N here, right? And I'm still going to say te. Te gustan los deportes? You like sports, right? Because I'm saying you. And remember, we said te is going to replace tú. Okay. And so you like sports. A ti. This is what we would use if we want to emphasize. Yeah, but you like sports. You do. A ti. ¿Te gustan los deportes? Join a team. Okay. Questions again. So you can see, you guys, how these don't follow any kind of pattern whatsoever. Okay. All right. So let's go down the list here. Me is like saying me. I like pizza. A mí me gusta la pizza. Okay. A ti, you, a ti te gustan los deportes. You like sports. We could make this él or ella, right? A ella le gusta comer. She likes to eat. Because remember, we're repeating here, right? A nosotros, we like, a nosotros nos gustan los animales, because it's plural. Animals is plural, right? So we add an N here. A nosotros nos gustan los animales. We like animals. They, and we can make this ellas or ellos, right? A ellos les gusta mirar Netflix. They like to watch Netflix. Okay, and we're going to come back to this one in just a second. So I'm going to put a little question mark there. You all like French fries. We add an N because French fries are plural. A ustedes, you guys, les gustan las papas fritas. You guys like French fries. All right, here's my question. We're coming back up to this one here. Mirar. Is this a thing or an action? They like to watch Netflix. Is mirar a thing or an action? Remember, we did some of this the other day. Very good. It's an action. It's a verb. And one of the ways to know this is the fact that it ends in an AR, because if you remember, we have three kinds of verbs: AR, ER, and IR. And so if a word ends in any one of those things, if we can't figure it out by context, that's going to tell us that's a verb or an action. Anytime you want to say that you like to do something, in this case, watch Netflix, okay, watching, it's always going to be singular. Yeah. you're always going to use gusta and then whatever the action is plus the action. Okay. All right. Questions? Okay. So let's see. Let's try to do a little practice. Okay. All right. So, me. So we're saying, I like coffee. So we're not going to use yo. What are we going to use instead, you guys? Me, what? I like coffee. So let's figure it out together. So watch. So if I say, I have to figure out, am I going to use gusta or gustan? So if cafe is singular, you tell me, am I going to use gusta or gustan? Malia, what do you think? Am I going to use gusta or gustan? Okay, very good. I'm going to use gusta here, right? Because cafe is singular. And I know that because it says L, right? So then what goes with me? Is it me te gusta? Me no nos gusta? Which one goes with me? How do we say I like? If it's me, I need to say I like. So what do I use? Come on, help me out here. What am I going to use here? Very good, Marlacia. So let's go back. Let's go back because you all need to show me that you understand what we're doing here, right? Which one goes with me is me. Ti is te, right? Me, te, le, nos, and les, right? And so a mí, me, a ti, te, a él, ella, or usted, le, right? Me, te, le, nos, and les. That's what we're using here, right? So let's keep trying. All right. So somebody told me, yes, Marlacia, good job. A mí me gusta, right? So remember, a mí, if I'm trying to emphasize that I like coffee, right? Okay, número dos. A ti something la manzana. So first of all, who remembers from our vocab what fruit, que fruta manzana, la manzana. Que fruta es la manzana? Good. Apple, right? The apple. Can y'all still hear me? Okay. So our question to ourselves, you guys, is la manzana. Is that singular or plural? Singular. So are we going to use gusta or gustan? Right. We're going to use gusta, right? Very good. So now we got to figure out if we don't use yo and tu and blah, 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 what do we use instead? Which one goes with a ti? If this one is me, what's this one going to be? Te. Very good. Right? If this one is me, a mí, then this ti is going to be te, right? Te gusta. So you like apples, right? La manzana, the apple. Okay. All right. Número tres. We got gordo here. Okay. Gordo's a boy. And what's el arroz? ¿Qué quiere decir el arroz? What is this from our vocab? El arroz. El arroz. Rice. Very good. Okay. So if it's el arroz, is it singular or plural? Singular. Muy bien. So we're going to use gusta, right? Because it's singular. Okay, so now gordo, we're talking about him. We're trying to say that he likes rice. So me, te, and how do we, what gets replaced? Very good, Marlasia. How do we say, how does el, ella, and usted get replaced? Me, te, and it's 5 words. Me, te, and clase. Me, te, and le. Right? So we could make this Susie. She's a girl. It would still be a Susie le gusta. It could be usted, Senor Gomez, right? Mr. Gomez. We're being formal. We could say a Senor Gomez le gusta. So me, te, and le. We have to remember these, otherwise none of this will work for us. Okay. Okay. Bob and I is the same as saying we, right? And therefore in Spanish, what? Bob and I is the same as saying nosotros, right? We, okay. Except, yes, Marlasia, you're one step ahead. So instead of using nosotros, what do we use here with gustar? Nosotros becomes like abbreviated and it becomes what? Very good, Brooklyn. Very good, Marlasia. Who else? How do we abbreviate kind of nosotros? What does it become here with gustar? That would be if we're saying they, right, Malia? But we're saying we here, Bob and I, we. So not nosotros, but what instead? How do we shorten nosotros, you guys? You're just shortening the word. What does it become? It becomes nos. Nosotros, right? We're just shortening, becomes nos. Okay. And again, pescado is singular. We're using gusta. So Bob and I, we like fish, right? We like fish. Okay. Now we have they. So it's me, te, le, nos. How do we make le here plural, you guys? How do we make this le plural? How do we make anything plural generally? We add a what? An S. Okay, so this, though, is an action word, verb, to live, right? So we always have to go singular when we have an action word. So we're going to make le plural. And so it's going to become less because we're talking about they. They, and it could be ellas, or it could be you all, ustedes, right? A ustedes, you all like to live in Columbus. Les gusta vivir en Columbus, right? Or they, like ellos or ellas. A ellos les gusta vivir en Columbus. They like to live in Columbus. Okay, so look again. Me, right? Mi, me, ti, te. El, ella, and usted, le. Nosotros gets abbreviated and becomes nos. If we need to say ellos, ellas, and ustedes, we just take our le and we make it plural by adding an S. Then we use gusta, 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 because all of these things are singular. And in this last one, we have a verb, we have an action, so we have to go singular. Okay. So take a deep breath and tell me in chat. 3, 2, 1. How you feeling about gustar so far? 3, I got it, but I need practice. 2, I don't understand. I just need more explanation. Or 1, I'm totally confused. Okay. Okay. All right. If those of you who tell me 3, then let's see how we do on this next slide. Okay. All right. Let me clear my drawings out here. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at these, right? So the first thing we need to look at here is, are we going to use gusta or are we going to use gustan? What do you think? Okay, Malaysia. Good, good. I want to hear from everyone. You can feel free to unmute. Good job, Brooklyn. We have 5 sentences here. Are we going to use gusta or gustan? Jomarian, Arshad, Malia, what do you think? Gusta or gustan? Those of you who told me 3, let's see it. Okay, very good. Jamarian, Malia, and Arshad, gusta or gustan? Okay. Good job, Malia. Arshad, gusta or gustan? Singular or plural? My cat's going crazy. All right, good. Okay, so we're going to do gustan. Very good, because all of these things, if we look at them, right, all of them are plural. So we're going to use gustan. Okay, I'll put it up here. So now the tricky part is, again, which of these do we use, right? So let's see, Malia, you told me a mí is going to become me, and then gustan because tacos is plural. Okay. All right. Número dos. Número dos. How am I going to figure this one out? What do I do? Joe Marion? Pop it in the chat or unmute. Ati blank. We're trying to say you don't like greens, vegetables, right? So what do I do for number 2? Y'all put it in the chat. Okay, but that's not all of it. We already established that, right? How do I say you? How do I say you? I'm not using tú, right? What do I need to figure out here? It's not may, but what? Yes, Jamarian. Good, Brooklyn. Good, Marlasia. Okay, so let's take a look. It's going to be te, right? Mi, me, ti, te. You cannot ever leave out the me or the te or the whatever. You cannot ever leave them out. Because if you think about it, there's only 2 forms. There's only gusta and gustan. So the only way to know who we're talking about, because remember, we are not always going to use these. This is just for emphasis, right? You can have a sentence that says me gustan los tacos, right? But unless you include this, we're not going to know who likes tacos, right? So you can't just say gustan los tacos. That's just saying likes tacos. Who does? Okay, so you have to include this front part. Okay, they go together always and absolutely, right? Okay, so we have a mí me gustan, a ti no te gustan. You don't like vegetables. So notice that where we put the no. All right, number 3. Frijoles, beans. And we want to say she. She likes beans. How do we do it? Tell me in chat. Good, Marlasia. Perfect. Malia, good job. Brooklyn, Marion Arshad. How do I say she likes beans? Not may, not they, but. Okay, remember, Brooklyn, it's the who, and we only have one here. Good, Arshad. Right, because we've already said gustan because these are plural, right? See, that's what's weird about these verbs. They're different than normal, all the other stuff we've learned. Jamarian, what do I do here? She likes beans. You have to show me that y'all understand. You can't just tell me 3 or 2 or 1. You have to show me. What do you think? Remember, IDK is a legit answer, okay? So if it's not me and they, and we're saying ella, it becomes le, right? So el, ella, and usted gets replaced by le, okay? So it's me, te, and le in the singular when we're talking about the people, yeah? Okay. All right. A nosotros. So we like juices. We like the juices. What do I do? Nosotros becomes what? Tell me in chat. Good, Malia. Good, Marlasia. Good, Brooklyn. All right. Arshad and Jamarian. Nosotros becomes what? Remember, we shorten it. We abbreviate it. What does it become? Very good, Jamarian. Right. It becomes nos, right? Nos gustan. Nos gustan. So plural gustan because jugos are plural. And then nosotros becomes nos. Okay. All right. Last one here. So in number 5, we're talking about Gordo and Alex. So we're saying they. And we're saying they don't like the pastries. They don't like the cakes, plural. So what do we do here? Me, te, le, nos, and very good, Malia. Me, te, le, nos, and what's our next one? Yeah, good, Brooklyn. Good, Marlasia. Yeah, so remember, you guys, if look up here at number 3, if el and ella and usted is singular and we use le, then ellos, ellas, or ustedes in the plural, we just add an s, less. Right? So a Gordo y Alex no les gustan los pasteles, right? Gordo and Alex, they don't like the cakes. Okay. So what we have to remember, we understand, you guys, that gusta is when we like one item. Gustan is when we like more than one item. But what we have to remember is me, te, le, nos, and les. And we have to remember that we have to use them. It's not like the other verbs where you wouldn't necessarily have to use them. Okay. All right. Questions? Okay. So we have this one, encantar, to love. And if you look at it, you guys, it works exactly the same way. I love, me encanta, or me encantan. You love, te encanta, or te encantan. he or she or you, formal love, le encanta or encantan, right? So you guys get the picture here, right? It works exactly the same way as gustar. Okay? All right, questions. Okay, I have a little brain break video for us, so give me a minute to pull it up here. Okay, it's kind of a cute little kids video. All right, let's watch.
¿Te gusta el brócoli? Sí me gusta, sí me gusta. ¿Te gusta el helado? Sí me gusta, sí me gusta. ¿Te gusta el helado de brócoli? No me gusta. ¡Guácala! ¿Te gustan las donas? Sí me gustan, sí me gustan. ¿Te gusta el jugo? Sí me gusta, sí me gusta. ¿Te gusta el jugo de donas? No me gusta. ¡Guácala! ¿Te gustan las palomitas? Sí me gustan, sí me gustan. ¿Te gusta la pizza? Sí me gusta, sí me gusta. ¿Te gusta la pizza de palomitas? No me gusta. ¡Guácala! ¿Te gustan las bananas? Sí me gustan, sí me gustan. ¿Te gusta la sopa? Sí me gusta, sí me gusta. ¿Te gusta la sopa de banana? No me gusta. ¡Guácala!
All right, muy bien. Okay, clase, I want you to think about one item en español. One item that you like or don't like. Okay, one item that you like or don't like. And then do you think you can type that up in the chat or raise your hand if you're willing to say it out loud? Tell me me gusta blah 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 or no me gusta blah blah blah. Again, you can raise your hand if you want to unmute or pop it in the chat. One thing that you like or don't like. La pizza, sí, Brooklyn. A mí también. Think of some of the vocab words that we've used. El pastel, sí, Marlisha, a mí también. Me gusta el pastel, sí. Malia, Jamarian, Arshad, one thing you like, one thing you don't. Or one thing you don't. Malia, ¿te gusta la sopa? Malia, ¿te gusta la sopa? ¿Te gusta la sopa? Do you like soup, Malia? See? Tell me, yes, I like it. See. How do you say I like? How do we say I like? Me gusta, sí, sí me gusta. Arshad, ¿te gustan las manzanas? Muy bien. Las manzanas a mí también. Con, con la mantequilla de cacahuete, right? I like apples with peanut butter. Am I crazy? Y'all like that? Apples with peanut butter? See? Jamarian, a ti, ¿qué te gusta? What do you like? A ti, ¿qué te gusta? What do you like? La pizza también. So do you guys like pineapple on your pizza? ¿Te gusta la piña en la pizza? Sí, a mí también. Me, sí, sure, why not? Absolutely. Sí, Brooklyn. El jamón con la piña. Sí. Sí, sí. Okay. All right, let's do a little practice, right? Yeah. All right. Let me pull this up here. So this is kind of easy. This is to just help us listen, right, and get an ear for all of these words. So you're just going to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, okay? Bueno, here we go. ¿Te gusta el yogur? ¿Te gusta el yogur? Thumbs up or thumbs down. Come on, y'all. Arshad. ¿Te gusta el yogur? Sí. No, Jomari, no te gusta. Malia, ¿te gusta el yogur? Sí. Okay. Muy bien. Sí, a mí me gusta. A mí me gusta. I like it. Sí. Okay. Pero, clase, a Jomarian no le gusta. He doesn't like yogurt. Okay. A Jomarian no le gusta. And I have to say his name here because there's 6 of us, right? And we got to know who it is I'm referring to. Okay. Bueno. Okay, clase. ¿Te gustan las palomitas? Popcorn? Okay. A Jomarian sí le gustan las palomitas. A Marleisha le gustan las palomitas. Arshad, ¿a ti? ¿Te gustan? ¿A ti te gustan, sí o no? Las palomitas. ¿No? ¿No te gustan? Oh, Dios mío. Ah, ok, clase, escuchen, listen. A Arshad no le gustan las palomitas. He doesn't like popcorn. Ooh. Anybody got a favorite flavor? ¿Cuál es tu sabor? Tu sabor, your favorite flavor favorito de las palomitas. ¿Te gustan las palomitas con queso? ¿O with cheese? ¿O con caramelo, with caramel? ¿Cómo te gustan las palomitas? ¿Te gustan las palomitas? ¿De queso? ¿Sí? ¿No? Sí, queso y caramelo, sí, por supuesto. Ok. Clase, ¿te gusta la banana? Malia, how about you? Muy bien. A Malia le gusta la banana, ¿sí? Brooklyn, ¿a ti te gusta? ¿Sí o no? ¿Sí? Clase, a mí no me gusta la banana. No me gusta. No, I don't like that. You know, the only banana that I like is the fake banana candy, the fakey flavor banana. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? See, I know, yeah, I like the fake candy banana, but I don't like a real banana. Yeah. Sí, no me gusta. Okay. All righty. Las galletas. ¿Te gustan las galletas, clase? Sí, por supuesto. Sí, a mí también. Me too. A mí me gustan también las galletas. Sí. Ok, la naranja. ¿Te gusta la naranja? No, Marlesia, no. ¿No te gusta? No. Ok. Clase a Marlesia no le gusta la naranja. She doesn't like oranges. Ok, Malia. Sí, Marlesia, me gusta la naranja, but, no me gusta el jugo de naranja. What's jugo? Y'all remember that word? Or sumo, it was 2 words for that. Juice, right. So, me gusta comer la naranja. I like to eat an orange, right? Pero no me gusta beber, drink el jugo. I don't like to drink orange juice. No. Right? That's weird, isn't it? Is that weird? I don't know. Okay, clase, ¿te gustan las uvas? Las Oh, you guys froze up on me a minute. ¿Te gustan las uvas? Okay. Muy bien. My internet is being goofy. All right, muy bien. Some y'all said yes. Okay. Okay, last one here. El tomate. ¿Te gusta el tomate? Sí, Marlesia? Jomarian, Arshad, ¿te gusta el tomate? Sí, ¿te gusta, Jomarian? Arshad, ¿te gusta? Brooklyn, ¿a ti también? No. Malia? No. A Malia no le gusta, no le gusta. Y Malia, ni a mí. I don't either. No me gusta el tomate. No, no me gusta el tomate. Clase? No. Okay, muy bien. All right, any questions about gustar, etc., etc., etc.? No? Okay. How much time do we have? We have about 10 minutes. Okay, muy bien. So what I would like for you to do, clase, por favor, is I would like for you to meet me in Canvas so I can make sure my goods here, my stuff is organized okay. So can y'all meet me in Canvas, please? I don't remember if I put Gustar in the resource library, but I will if I haven't yet. Okay, y'all meet me in Canvas. Malia. Mr. Marion. Yep. Head on over to modules. Mr. Marion, can you get in Canvas? There you go. Head on over to modules, Malia and Marlesia. Yep. Let me make sure I put this in the library. Did I or didn't I? Yes. Okay, so let me show you real quick. If you guys click on the library, yeah. Meet me in the library, por favor. So the very last thing is you'll see those slides on Gusta versus Gustan. And so you can always access this, right? It says, remember, Gusta is when you like one item, and Gustan when you like more than one item, right? And then you have to use the mate they lay. I don't know where the plurals are. The plurals cutting off. Well, I may need to fix that then, won't I? Okay, so which I will. I don't see the nos, right? I don't see those, so I have to fix that here in just a minute. Okay, So just know that it'll be there, right? But there's that. Okay, so let's scroll down, you guys, to Unit 4, because we're working in Unidad 4. And remember that anything with the googly eye, you need to view, and anything with the little brain, you need to do. Okay. And so this morning I put in que les gusta. So let's take a look at it. Right? So easy peasy. Tim has bought a lot of things and wants to classify them in his kitchen according to their flavor. Help him by choosing the correct word. So we have pepper here was picante or dulce, right? So this was just a leftover, if you will, from last week. So it's pretty just a reminder of those words. Okay. French fries, are they salado or agrio? Okay, so just again as like a review since we had the weekend. And then any other assignments that have been posted that have not yet been completed, right? So let me switch up my view here. Okay, so I still show that with the exception of our shod, everyone has a blank. Some of you still need to complete ¿Qué quieres comer? And some of you need to complete ¿Qué les gusta? And some of you need to complete the clasificaciones. Okay. So in the time that we have left, let's go ahead and get those completed. And I will, in the meantime, I will add that gustar thing. I need to fix that up for you guys for Wednesday. Okay. All right. Any questions about what we're doing? So there are 3 exercises in Unit 4. Que quiere comer, que les gusta, and clasificaciones that are posted in VHL that need to be completed. Okay. And meanwhile, I'm going to go back and fix that star thing. All right, I think I got that goose star thing all figured up and fixed for you. Okay, Marlasia, do you need help navigating to VHL? Let me know. Remember, anything with the googly eyes needs to be viewed. And then with the brain, those things need to be done. Also, before we have about 5 minutes, so Arshad and Brooklyn, I need your attention one quick second. Give me 1 minute. Okay, give me 1 second. Por favor. Brooklyn, you're a senior, right? Just double checking. Are you a senior? Okay. Give me a minute. Okay. Arshad and Brooklyn. Arshad, can you hear me? As a senior, right? You guys are seniors. So during ILT next hour, do you guys know that you're supposed to go to Miss Gunnels? Yes, you got to go to her Zoom link. Do y'all know this today? Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down that you know what I'm talking about. Okay, just checking, just doing my job, right? And then, okay, perfect. And then for everybody, tomorrow night is open house at 6:30, right? So that's just a reminder for that. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm glad it's not just me reminding. Wednesday, we will review our Gustar again. And then we hopefully, if we have the chance, we're gonna finish our Mario story, okay, on Wednesday. So that's the plan anyway. All right, you guys, we have about a minute, so get finished what you can. Remember, our goal is always to finish Fridays with no homework. Yeah. These practice exercises in Spanish, you guys, are so short. Yeah. That we don't want them to pile up on us. We want to do them and get them out of the way. Right. Marion, how are you doing? All right. Make sure that you submit when you're done. That's our time for today, you guys. Enjoy your Monday. Have a great day. Okay. Adiós. Nos vemos miércoles. See you Wednesday. Nos vemos miércoles. Adiós.